And dear students, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'm Dr. Jamil Abbas from the Physiology Department of the Faisalabad Medical University, and here's a brief review of the AV nodal blocks, AV nodal heart blocks. This diagram is self-explanatory here. Your SA node is responsible for the generation of the impulses, the cardiac impulses. All the cardiac impulses are generated by the SA node, which is your normal natural pacemaker generating the impulses at a rate of 60 to 80 beats per minute. And these impulses, they travel into this AV node, and from here they are going to enter into the ventricles. Before going into the details of all these things, first of all we have to discuss the PR interval of the ECG. If you look at the diagram, here is you can see the pinkish color. This pinkish color is the normal PR interval. That is the beginning of the P wave up to the beginning of the Q wave. So this is a normal PR interval, and actually this PR interval reflects the traveling time of the impulses generated here from the SA node, and they ultimately travel in this direction. This is the vectorial direction. Actually, your impulses, they travel through these bundles. These are the three bundles through which the impulses travel into this bluish area, which is your AV node. And this is the Beckman bundle traveling into your left atrium. This is your left atrium, this is right atrium, this is left ventricle, this is right ventricle. And here is your bundle of phase, and these are bundle branches. The left bundle branch block, this is your blackish color. The yellow is your right bundle branch. Again, this is a brief review, and this is your bundle of Kent, which is utilized in the WPW syndrome. Now, the impulses which are generated by the SA node, they have to travel to reach their destination. First stop is at the AV node, where they stop or delay for 0.09 second, which is known as the AV nodal delay. This is due to the less gap junctions present over this AV node, and this AV nodal delay has got a lot of physiological importance, because during that delay all the atria, they are depolarized, they contract, and this delay will make sure that these atria have ejected their whole blood into the ventricles. Now they are empty. After emptying of this atria, that is your after this AV nodal delay, now the atria, they are emptied, and ventricles, they are filled. When the ventricles are going to fill, now the impulse will leave this AV node and moves onward into the bundle of phase and moves onward into the bundle branch blocks or bundle branch, left bundle branch, and this is right bundle branch. This is the bundle of phase, and this is the Purkinje fibers. Here is your Purkinje fibers. Right bundle branch and left bundle branch. Now back to the PR interval. So this time from here up to the AV node, this traveling time of the impulse is reflected on the ECG by your PR interval, and normal PR interval is your normal big square. Big square, actually the smallest square has got 0.04 second. If you multiply this 0.04 with 5 small squares, then you will get the figure of the 2. So this big square is a normal PR interval, and if the PR interval is more than this big square, we may call it as a prolonged PR interval. Now back to this one, PR interval. We have written all the things over here. PR interval reflects the traveling time of an impulse from SA node to AV node and the conduction through AV node. This is a very important sentence. That the conduction through AV node, the time required by the impulse to move through the AV node, is also included, and the normal AV nodal delay of 0.09 second is included in the normal PR interval. This is very important to understand the things. Now the normal PR interval is approximately 1.2 to 2 millisecond, that is 0.12 dash 0.20 seconds. This duration 3 to 5 small squares. This is a normal PR interval. This horizontal one, this one reflects the duration on the ECG paper, and this vertical reflects the voltage of the impulse. We are not concerned with the height. We are at this time we are concerned with the duration. Now back to the different types of the blocks. AV nodal blocks. We are going to discuss the AV nodal blocks. There are three types of the AV nodal blocks which are known as the first degree AV nodal block. Then we have got the second degree AV nodal block, and ultimately we have got a third degree AV nodal block. You can see here, this is your third degree AV nodal block, or the Stokes-Adams syndrome, or complete heart block. These are the different names for the third degree heart block. We will take one by one. First of all, the first degree heart block. Actually, the first degree heart block, here your first degree heart block, the impulses which are generated by the SA node, they become slow. Their speed will become slow, and once they enter into the AV node, the crossing time actually within the AV node will be more than the normal. So when the time taken by the impulse to cross this AV node is more than the normal, what will happen on the ECG? Your PR interval is going to be prolonged now. But all the impulses generated by the SA node, they cross the AV node, but they will take more time. They become slower and they will take more time. So the PR interval will be prolonged on the ECG, but all the impulses will ultimately cross the AV node. And this is your first degree heart block. So the first degree heart block reflected on the ECG by the prolongation of their PR interval. And this PR interval will be more than a big square. It will be more than a big square, and it may be up to 1.5 big square. It may be up to the 1.5 big square. So here is your first degree heart block written over here. An impulse generated by the SA node travels through the atria and crosses the AV node, but at a slower speed. That's why the PR interval is prolonged. It will be more than a big square, that is more than 0.2 seconds, up to 1.5 big square, that is 0.3 seconds. And this is mainly due to the fatigue of the AV nodal cells. On the ECG, you can well understand if you see this ECG. This is your PR interval. This is your PR interval. You can see that the PR interval is one big square, and we have added one smaller square with it. So this PR interval is prolonged now. That is, this interval is more than a big square. You can very easily understand by the bluish marking over here that this is more than a big square. So this is a prolonged PR interval. So this is first degree heart block, and it is not more than 1.5. It is not more than 1.5. In the next wave, you will see that your PR interval, the PR interval is again a big square plus a very small square is added with this one, beginning of the Q. So again, this is a prolonged PR interval. In the third, you again see this is a prolonged. It is more than a big square, more than a big square. So that's why this prolongation of PR interval, that is more than a big square and less than 1.5 big square, it will be called as a first degree heart block. And notice it that all the impulses generated by the SA node, the atrial depolarization, they will enter into the ventricle, and the QRS complex is there. So that means all the impulses generated at the SA node, they will cross the AV node. It will take more slow time with a prolonged PR interval, but ultimately they will cross the AV node and enter into the ventricular and lead to the ventricular depolarization. So the QRS complex is very much attached with this prolonged PR interval. Now we'll move to the second degree heart block. In the second degree heart block, speed of the impulses become more slow, and this slowness is to such an extent that some impulses will be strong enough to cross the AV node and some will not be able to cross the AV node. So those impulses which will cross the AV node, they will cause the ventricular depolarization and ventricular contraction. But some of them will not be able to cross the AV node. And those impulses which will not cross the AV node, there will be no ventricular depolarization leading to the drop beat. So in the first one, we have got just prolonged PR interval, but all the impulses they cross the AV node and enter into the ventricle. But in the second degree, some will cross the AV node and some will not cross the AV node. So there is a difference between first degree and the second degree. This second degree heart block is further divided into two types. One is known as a Mobis type 1 and other is known as a Mobis type 2. In the Mobis type 1, what happens? There is a gradual prolongation of the PR interval until there is a drop beat. There is no drop beat means no QRS complex. Here you will see in the example. This is a strip lead 2. You will see this here is your PR interval. This PR interval is approximately more than a normal, the prolonged one. But if you see in the next one, this PR interval is more prolonged as compared to this one. So if you compare this one, this is although this is prolonged, but this much is more prolonged than the previous one. And in the next you will see that there is no QRS complex. Again, here is no QRS complex. So there is a gradual prolongation of the PR interval until there is a drop beat. This is type of the Mobis type 1. Gradual prolongation of PR interval until there is a drop beat, no QRS complex. So this is a drop beat, gradual prolongation. Then there is a drop beat. In the Mobis type 2, the lesion is usually in the bundle of His. Again, I am going back to the diagram. Back to the diagram so you can understand where the bundle of His is present. Here, in the Mobis type 1, there is usually the fatigue of the AV node. This AV nodal cells, they are usually fatigued. But in the second Mobis type 2, problem is usually the lesion is usually in the bundle of His. So in the bundle of His, the impulses cannot cross from this bluish area and cross this reddish area. Bundle of His, they cannot cross the bundle of His. So in this Mobis type 2, when it will not cross this area, no impulse will reach to this area, ventricle are not going to be depolarized, no ventricular contraction, no output will be there. Now, back to that written area. Mobis type 2. Lesion is in the bundle of His. No prolongation of the PR interval. In that Mobis type 1, there is a gradual prolongation of the PR. Here, no prolongation of PR interval. Impulse cross the AV node. That means impulse will cross the AV node. Then there is a drop bit. Then there is a sudden drop bit. Impulse cannot cross the bundle of His. It's more dangerous. And this immediately needs a pacemaker for the treatment. Here you can see in this example of the ECG. This is your PR interval. Again a PR interval. Both PR interval are the same. There is no prolongation of the PR interval. But in the next you will see there is a drop beat. Here there is a P1, again a P wave. In between there is no QRS complex. There is drop beat. So in the Mobis type 2, lesion is in the bundle of phase. There is no gradual prolongation, but there is a sudden drop beat. And this is usually seen in the ischemia, cardiac ischemia in the myocardial, after the myocardial infarctions they are seen. So this is the Mobis type 2 and this is more dangerous and it needs pacemaker. Now we will move to the Mobis type third degree heart blocks. Here the written third degree heart block or the Stokes-Adams syndrome or the complete heart blocks. What happens here? Here no impulse generated by the SA node can enter into the ventricle. That means impulses are generated by the SA node. That means SA node is normally function. But its impulses which are generated by the SA node, they travel toward the ventricle. But during their traveling, they enter into the AV node. but they cannot cross the AV node, or they cannot cross the bundle of his, or even they cannot cross the sometimes the Purkinje fibers. The block may be at the different levels, but usually in the third degree heart block, problem is in the bundle of his and just below it, bundle of his or just below it. So what will happen? When again going back to the diagram so that you can well understand that these things. Just wait a minute. Here in this diagram you will see that impulses are generated by the SA node. They are moving towards the AV node, but they cannot cross this bundle of his, or they cannot cross this area. So there is a complete block. Here there is a complete block. These impulses cannot enter into the ventricles. Now it's a very dangerous situation and almost lethal one if it is not corrected immediately. Now the ventricular atria, they are working, they are functioning normally, their natural pacemaker is there for their contraction. But ventricles, they are not receiving any impulse from this SA node. Now the ventricles, they have to generate, they have to develop their own pacemaker immediately. And this pacemaker may be developed somewhere here, anywhere below this area, the pacemaker may develop. And this pacemaker has got a slower speed to drive the heart. Here the speed is 60 to 80, here the speed is 40 to 60, and here the speed is 20 to 40. So the speed is gradually lower down, although these can drive the heart, but they at a slower speed. So the new pacemaker may develop over here, it may develop over here. So what will happen? Atria will contract or beat under the effect of SA node, while ventricle they show the depolarization and contraction under the effect of that new pacemaker. Now what happens here? The patient, during that time, the patient patient goes into the unconsciousness. Syncope is there. Patient become unconscious. Why the patient become unconscious in third degree heart block? Because suppose there is no entrance of impulse into the ventricle and the some pacemaker is developed somewhere over here, the new pacemaker. Although this pacemaker can drive the heart at a slower speed, but it will take some time to acclimatize itself, to adjust itself. For example, if you know the driving, you can drive the car very easily, but unfortunately, you are not allowed to drive the car for more than 30 years. Now, suddenly, you are pushed into the car and asked to drive it immediately. Then, what will happen? Although you are a good driver, but you will take some time to see the steering, to see the pedals, and this and extra. After that, you will start and begin to drive the car. During that pause of the time, the impulse will not be generated by the new pacemaker, and there will be no ventricular deposition, no ventricular contraction, no output, and blood will not go to the brain. And brain cannot survive without oxygen or blood, and the patient become faint immediately. It will lose the consciousness. But after few seconds or sometimes after a minute, the new pacemaker begin to generate an impulse, ventricles begin to contract, and output will be there, and brain will receive the blood, and patient become conscious again. This whole process is known as the Stokes-Adams syndrome, and because the ventricles are not under the effect of SA node, so it is also known as a ventricular escape. So these are the different names given to this third degree heart block, or your book guidance says it's oversuppression, overdrive of the ventricular suppression. That means your ventricle, which can act as a pacemaker, they remain suppressed. But suddenly this suppression is overdrived and they begin to drive the heart by developing a new pacemaker. So this was all about the Stokes-Adams syndrome or the third degree heart block. Let's see this thing with the help of an example. And this is your ECG. Here is the artificial diagram. This is an ECG. You will see that the P wave intervals, they remain the same. The P wave intervals are the same because atrial pacemaker is working with proper timing, and the ventricles, they are also driven by their own pacemakers. So RR intervals are also the same. But there is no relation, though no sequence between P and the QRS. Here you will see the P is far away from the QRS. Here you will see the P is there but no QRS. Here P is very close to the QRS. Here P no QRS. Is P far away from the QRS. So PP interval remains same because your atria are beating at a regular intervals. Your RR intervals are the same because the ventricular pacemaker is generating impulses in a regular way with its own speed. That speed is far slow, 20 to 40. It may be the 20 to 40 or it may be more than this one. So this was all about the third degree heart block or the ventricular escape or the Stokes-Adams syndrome. Now here all the things are written. No impulse generated by the SA node can enter into the ventricle, and ventricles have to develop their own pacemaker below the block. New pacemaker, they will take some time to generate new impulses. Then they will able to drive the heart at a slower speed, and this speed depends upon its location. If it is located in the bundle branch blocks, then its speed will be more. If it is located in the ventricular muscle, then speed will be more slower. Now the atria and the ventricle, they are controlled by their own pacemakers. That means your heart is beating under the control of two different pacemakers. One pacemaker is for the atria, other pacemaker is for the ventricles. Now the mechanism involved. Third degree, it may be end result of Mobius type 1 and Mobius type 2. You remember that Mobius type 1 means gradual prolongation of the PR interval, and this is usually due to the fatigue of the AV nodal cells. In Mobius type 2, lesion is below the AV node at the beginning of the bundle of phase and there is no gradual prolongation. PR interval remains same in the Mobius type 2, but there is a sudden block. Then there is a sudden block or sudden drop beat. So when this Mobius type 1 and Mobius type 2, they become more and more severe, they may enter into the third degree heart block. All these things which I have said you, that all these things are written over here. That is the number one, due to the progressive fatigue of AV nodal cells as in a Mobius type wound. Secondary to the increased vagal tone. This Mobius type 1 may be due to the increase in the vagal tone. This usually happens in the acute phase of inferior valve myocardial infarction. MI means myocardial infarction, inferior MI. Then due to the sudden complete failure of impulse to cross the bundle of phase or the Purkinje system as in Mobius type 2. Secondary, and this is usually secondary to the septal infarction in the acute anterior wall MI. Acute anterior wall myocardial infarction. And all these, this third degree heart block and Mobius type 2 heart block, they are treated by the pacemaker. This is the pacemaker which is placed over the chest or buried within the chest by a small incision in the chest wall, and here it is enter into the vein and ultimately we approach the right atrium, and from the right atrium would put the leads into this area and into this area. This pacemaker, which is known as the artificial pacemaker, is responsible for the generation of the impulse just to avoid the drop beats. And when the drop beats, if the drop beats remain, there is no ventricular output and patient will become unconscious and it may be the lethal one. So this was all about your AV nodal blocks. Thank you very much.